For nearly a century, Qantas has been connecting Australia to the world. The airline's history is, honestly, a story of conquering distance, of shrinking the globe one flight at a time. Flying from down under to the great cities of London and New York has always been the ultimate prize, a symbol of true global reach. This journey, often called the kangaroo route, has traditionally involved at least one stop, a necessary pause to refuel and refresh. But you know, the dream of a direct, non-stop flight, a single leap across continents and oceans, has always lingered in the minds of Qantas planners. It was the final frontier of commercial aviation, a challenge that seemed almost impossible. Imagine taking off from Sydney, watching the iconic harbour bridge shrink below and not touching the ground again until you see the sprawling metropolis of London, or the unmistakable skyline of New York City. This wasn't just about convenience, it was about prestige. It was about proving that technology and human endurance could overcome the tyranny of distance. The idea was to eliminate the layovers in places like Singapore or Dubai, saving passengers valuable time and reducing the fatigue of long-haul travel. To turn this ambitious dream into a reality, Qantas launched a formal challenge to the world's two largest aircraft manufacturers, Boeing and Airbus. In 2017, CEO Alan Joyce officially unveiled Project Sunrise, a name inspired by the legendary double sunrises that crews on the original kangaroo route would witness during their long journeys. The project's mission was clear and incredibly demanding: to develop an aircraft capable of flying non-stop from Sydney and Melbourne to London and New York. Project Sunrise was more than just an aircraft acquisition program. It was a comprehensive study into every aspect of ultra-long-haul travel. Qantas needed to understand the effects of a 20-plus hour flight on the human body. To do this, they conducted a series of groundbreaking research flights using Boeing 787-9 Dreamliners. These flights, from New York and London to Sydney, carried a limited number of passengers, mostly Qantas employees and frequent flyers, who were fitted with wearable technology to monitor their sleep patterns, activity levels, and overall well-being. The challenge laid down to Boeing and Airbus was formidable. Qantas didn't just need a plane that could physically make the distance. The aircraft had to do so with a commercially viable payload, meaning a full passenger cabin across multiple classes and a reasonable amount of cargo. It needed to be economically efficient, with fuel burn low enough to make these premium routes profitable. At the heart of Project Sunrise was a head-to-head battle between two incredible machines, the Boeing 787 Dreamliner and the Airbus A350. Both a state-of-the-art twin-engine, wide-body aircraft, representing the pinnacle of modern aerospace technology. They both make extensive use of lightweight composite materials, which allows them to be more fuel-efficient and fly longer distances than their predecessors. For passengers, both offer significant comfort improvements, such as higher cabin humidity and a lower cabin altitude, which help reduce the fatigue and dehydration associated with long-haul flying. Qantas already operated the 787-9, so they were intimately familiar with its capabilities. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner was a strong contender. Qantas was already flying its 787-9 variant on its non-stop route from Perth to London, a testament to the aircraft's impressive range. Boeing proposed a modified version, likely a derivative of the 787-10, with additional fuel capacity and other enhancements to meet the Project Sunrise range requirements. The Dreamliner is known for its large, electronically dimmable windows and a quiet cabin, features that are highly valued by passengers. On the other side was the Airbus A350, specifically the A350-1000 variant. This aircraft is slightly larger than the 787-10 and was designed from the outset with ultra-long-range missions in mind. The A350 boasts the quietest twin-aisle cabin in the sky and a very straight sidewall, which gives passengers a little more shoulder room and a sense of spaciousness. When comparing the two, the differences were subtle but crucial. The A350-1000 had a slight edge in terms of its potential payload over the required distance. Fuel efficiency was another key battleground. Both aircraft are incredibly efficient, but over a 20-hour flight, even a small percentage difference in fuel burn translates into significant cost savings. Despite the Boeing 787's proven track record and Qantas's existing familiarity with the type, it ultimately fell short of the stringent demands of Project Sunrise. The primary reason was a matter of technical limitations and payload capacity over the extreme distances required. While the 787 is a fantastic long-range aircraft, pushing it to fly non-stop from Sydney to London with a full passenger load was honestly a step too far without significant compromises. Boeing's proposal, while competitive, couldn't guarantee the performance margins that Qantas was seeking. One of the key issues was the payload range capability. To make the marathon flights economically viable, Qantas needed to carry around 238 passengers in a premium heavy configuration, plus their luggage and some cargo. The analysis showed that the proposed 787 variant would likely have to operate with payload restrictions on the most demanding routes, especially the westbound flight from Sydney to London, which often faces strong headwinds. Furthermore, there were considerations about future-proofing and passenger comfort. While the 787 cabin is excellent, the A350's slightly wider fuselage offered more flexibility in designing the spacious multi-class cabin that Qantas envisioned for these ultra-long flights. This included plans for a unique well-being zone, an area where passengers could stand, stretch, and hydrate. This extra space was a critical factor in the decision-making process, as passenger comfort is paramount on a 20-hour journey. Ultimately, Boeing's proposal also faced challenges with its delivery timeline and engine arrangements. Airbus was able to offer a firm commitment on the aircraft's performance, backed by a proven engine choice in the Rolls-Royce Trent XWB. Boeing's offer was seen as slightly less certain, relying more on performance projections for a modified airframe. For a project with such high stakes and a price tag in the billions, Qantas needed absolute certainty. The combination of payload limitations, cabin design flexibility, and the overall certainty of the offer led Qantas to conclude that the Dreamliner, for all its merits, was not the right aircraft for this specific, unprecedented mission. After a rigorous and lengthy evaluation process, in December 2019, Qantas announced it had selected the Airbus A350-1000 as its preferred aircraft for Project Sunrise. It was a landmark decision that sent ripples through the aviation industry. Airbus had won the day by presenting a solution that was more compelling, more certain, and better aligned with Qantas's vision. The key to their victory was the A350-1000 ULR, a specially modified version of their flagship jet, custom-built to conquer the tyranny of distance. Airbus committed to developing this variant specifically to meet the unique challenges laid down by Qantas. The decisive factor was the A350's superior performance envelope. Airbus was able to guarantee that the A350-1000 ULR could fly the Sydney-London and Sydney-New York routes with a full passenger load and without any payload restrictions. They achieved this by incorporating an extra center fuel tank, which increased the aircraft's fuel capacity without compromising space for cargo or baggage. They also increased the aircraft's maximum takeoff weight, allowing it to carry more fuel for the journey. This technical assurance gave Qantas the confidence that its flagship routes would be operationally reliable and economically successful from day one in all weather conditions. The A350's Rolls-Royce Trent XWB-97 engines also played a crucial role. These engines are renowned for their reliability and fuel efficiency, having accumulated millions of flight hours in service with other airlines. This track record provided a high level of confidence. For Qantas, committing to a multi-billion-dollar fleet, the certainty of a mature and proven engine technology was a significant advantage. In the end, Airbus didn't just sell an aircraft, they sold a complete solution. They worked closely with Qantas, listening to their needs and tailoring the A350-1000 to be the perfect tool for the job. The A350-1000 ULR was not just an off-the-shelf product. It was the physical embodiment of Qantas's ambition, engineered for a single purpose: to connect Australia to the world like never before. This focus on a bespoke, guaranteed solution is what made the Airbus A350 the undisputed chosen one for this historic endeavour. With the Airbus A350-1000 ULR selected, Qantas turned its full attention to what would happen inside the aircraft. The airline understood that a 20-hour flight required a complete rethinking of the passenger experience. The A350's spacious cabin provided the perfect blank canvas for Qantas to design an interior specifically tailored to combat fatigue and enhance well-being. The result is a cabin with the lowest passenger density of any A350 in service, with just 238 seats in an aircraft that could typically hold over 350. At the heart of the design is the well-being zone, a unique space located between the premium economy and economy cabins. This area is designed for all passengers to use throughout the flight. It provides a dedicated space to stand up, stretch, and rehydrate. Every detail of the seating has been meticulously planned. The new first-class suites will feature a separate bed and a reclining lounge chair, essentially a mini hotel room in the sky. Business class will also offer direct aisle access and lie-flat beds. This focus on passenger well-being extends beyond physical space. The in-flight entertainment system will be tailored to help manage jet lag, with programming and lighting that syncs with the destination time zone. The meal service will also be designed by nutritionists to promote hydration and sleep at the appropriate times. Qantas is not just flying you. They are actively managing your journey to ensure you arrive in better shape. This holistic approach to the passenger experience, made possible by the A350's capabilities, sets a new standard for ultra-long-haul travel and will be a key differentiator for the Project Sunrise flights. The decision by Qantas to choose the Airbus A350 for Project Sunrise is more than just a fleet update. It's a transformative moment for the airline and the entire aviation industry. For Qantas, it represents the culmination of a century-long dream and solidifies its position as a global leader in innovation. By conquering the final frontier of commercial aviation, Qantas creates a powerful, unique selling proposition. This bold move will likely trigger a ripple effect across the industry. Other airlines will be watching the success of Project Sunrise very closely. If Qantas proves that there is a strong and profitable market for these 20-hour-plus flights, it could inspire other carriers to explore their own ultra-long-haul routes. We may see new city pairs being connected non-stop, such as from Asia to South America, or from North America to deeper into Southeast Asia and Africa. Looking ahead, Project Sunrise is the dawn of a new era in global connectivity. It demonstrates that with the right aircraft, the right vision, and a relentless focus on the passenger, geographical barriers can be overcome. As these specially designed A350s take to the skies in the coming years, they will not just be carrying passengers, they will be carrying the promise of a more connected future. The legacy of Project Sunrise will be felt for decades, reshaping airline networks, aircraft design, and the very way we think about traveling across the globe.